Hello and welcome to another decisions training video. Today we're going to be going over calculated columns inside of the report designer. So here I am inside of the report designer. Let's get started with going over what calculated columns are. Calculated columns are additional fields that you can add that do not exist within the original data structure or the original data source that you have selected for your report. You can find them by clicking on Add on the data fields, scrolling down, and then going over here to calculated columns. These help expand the functionality of the report designer. And I'm going to be going over a few of them today just to showcase how you can utilize these inside of your environment. So here I have an account report. It's reporting all of the accounts in my environment, the account's first name, the account's last name, and the create on date. Let's say that I wanted to add a profile, where you can click over here and be able to view more details about each user. What you might look to do in this case is using the run flow inline field calculated column. The purpose of this column is to execute a flow within each row whenever the user clicks upon this link in that row. So for example, with this, I've created the text view profile, which is clickable, and I've created a flow here that's going to display the information from the report to the user in the form of a, form. You'll notice inside of this run inline field flow that we have additional data that we wouldn't have otherwise. In this case, when you go to selected row, you can select the fields that you want to use from that particular report row and use that within your display of data. So for example, here I have mapped those to populate the profile of whenever I click this particular user. I have new account right here, first name, last name, formatted here, and then I have the email down here. You can even populate this with details that aren't originally shown inside of the report, as you can hide different fields inside of your decisions report, but still show them here. If the run flow inline field requires more user interaction than you need for your report, and maybe you just want the first name and last name combined, then another option would be to use the combined text fields. With this calculated column, you can specify two different fields in your report, whether or not they exist within the display here, and then combine them into a format like this. This can be a great way to format your data in a much more readable format. There's also another form of this called the merge text inline field, which gives you even more functionality in order to be able to format your data in a merge text editor. Here, you have all of the columns available in your data type, even if you aren't displaying them in your report, and they'll still show here. Let's say that you want to figure out how old an account is. So here we have the created on date being displayed. However, another option to figure out how long ago a date was from the current date is to use the get date age. Here, it will specify how old from the current date the selected field is. So here I've chosen created on date. And as you can see, it tells me how many days ago each account was created. Let's say that you don't even want to show accounts that are created after a certain date. You can use the hide old dates calculated column field. Here you specify which dates you want to hide older than, right? So what is your cutoff for dates that you want to show? And then here is the field that you specify you're going to check against. So maybe I don't even want create on date anymore and I want to hide that. I only want to show the dates that are relevant. There are many more functionalities that the calculated columns can achieve for you. However, I hope this demonstration at least gives you an idea of how you can use some of the features of this to clean up your data, make a more user-friendly display, or provide additional functionality that you wouldn't otherwise have inside of your data source. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this helped.